Stockbridge and I'm in control, just like the seasons. You're taking the time from me, but no, I don't.
What's up, my Loc loves? Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, hit that subscribe button to be part of the Loc Love crew. I got a good one for you all this time. I got 10 ways to install lock extensions. I'm very familiar with all of these methods. I've used or use all of these methods now. And so I hope this video can help you all. Let's go ahead and get into what you would need for this video if you want to try these different styles. So I want to go ahead and introduce y'all my girl Leah. Yes, Leah looks angry. Don't worry about that. But yes, I'm going to use her to do these this tutorial on, but I want to take note on what kind of hair she has. So Leah's hair is very kinky, very soft. So a lot of you all, you can have kinky hair and rough, but hers is kinky and soft and fine. And so take note of that, and also take note of the hair that I'm going to be using. And speaking of that, I'm going to be using the Exyhair. And I'm super excited because I have their bundled hair and I have their crochet lock extension hair. So I'm going to show you all how to use both of these, but take note of their hair. So their hair is very kinky and on the rougher side. So my type 4 girl, specifically my type 4C, this is what you want. And if you're familiar with my channel, I do like to use different hair because you want to match your texture as much as you can. So I just want to show you all, this is great for type 4 hair, especially type 4C, along with their extensions as well, because it will blend, it will match, it will mesh, it will feel nice when you match these together. So hers matches in kinkiness, but in texture it kind of matches as well. Hers is not as soft and fine as a lot of clients that I actually work with. So if you're interested in using their hair, definitely check out this coupon code so that you can get some money off, save some coin, because that's what I'm all about, okay? And just some basic tools. I like to use this interlocking tool here from Amazon. It's called an interlocking tool on Amazon. And take note of, sorry, it's a little hair on here, ignore it. Take note of the size of the eye of this interlocking tool, because that is how big I can go when creating locks, okay? This is the biggest size that I can go in the actual lock itself. I have to be able to squeeze the hair into this. And just to give you an example, this size, I think this is their 0.04 centimeter. This size is about probably the biggest that I can go with this eye. You see how it takes up pretty much all of the larger size of the eye. So they do have some of these that are bigger. I haven't worked with them, but as you all know, I typically only do micro locks, but I will include some bonus tips or bonus footage of me creating these methods with larger sizes. So outside of that, you'll need a comb, scissors, clips, hair ties, basic stuff like that. Okay, let's get into the tutorials. We're going to start off with the most popular ways to install lock extensions, and that is using the crochet lock extensions like these. And first, you want to go ahead and just fluff out that end piece. You want it to kind of be straggly and thinned out so that it's easier to actually attach it to your actual hair. And so I'm just going to part off my section, and the lock part ratio is kind of hard to figure out, especially if you're a beginner. But what I like to do is take the fluffed out ends and match it to the ends of the hair. So if they look similar, like how these look similar, that is how I determine my lock part ratio. Of course, if you have thinner hair or more fine hair, your parts will be bigger. I also forgot to include Now I'm using the double needle crochet hook in the size 0.5. And so if you have long hair, you have to interlock all of that hair. And with the needle, you want to make sure you can actually crochet through the lock extension. If you can't, then you have to put the hair closer to the ends of your hair. So a lot of you all get charged a lot if you have long hair because the extension has to go towards the end of your hair and then you have to interlock the rest of the hair. So just getting started, I'm going to line the ends of her natural hair with the top of the extensions, and I'm just going to literally crochet that together. And if you're not familiar with that crochet method, you're just literally pulling the needle in and out, and then you're going to rotate the hair or turn the hair so that you're getting all sides of the hair to make a round lock. So this is not my favorite method because I keep hurting my freaking fingers. I feel like it's super time consuming and I hate this method. I used to do it and then I stopped. So yeah, if you want to try it. But yeah, it's pretty simple though. You just literally just get those needles going inside the lock, making sure you're connecting the lock with the actual hair, and rotate as you go. Right here, I stabbed my finger a little bit. Ugh. But all right, the beginning I want to show you all the speed in real time. You can see that just that little bit of and crocheting has connected the lock to the hair. And at this point, it's all about making sure that the foundation is strong, making sure that all of the hair is connected with her hair, and you want a very solid lock. When you buy extensions from people, it's going to be hard, it's going to be tight, it's going to be solid. That's because these extensions are made to last forever, permanently, right? And so think of how much stuff we do with our hair. We swim, we wash, we style, we put heat on it sometimes, we curl it. We do so much with our hair, and these extensions have to uphold itself. So when you get extensions, understand that the crochet ones in particular, are very hard and tight until you wear them out. You know, with the washes that you have, with the manipulation that you do, they will soften over time. And so right there, I noticed that the hair was kind of thin compared to the actual extensions. So I just borrowed some more of her hair, and now I'm going to crochet it all together. And this one is still a little thin. You'll see that at the end, but it is a lot stronger. So if this was an actual client, I would have grabbed more of her hair, because you can really tell when their hair is not enough for the extensions. This being a tutorial, I'm not doing things as if I would actually be doing someone's hair. I just want to show you all different methods, but that lock part ratio is super important to get right. And so make sure you pay attention. As you can see, it looks like a lock. It looks like a lock. This is still real time. I'm probably going to speed it up just a little bit. And let's go ahead and get to the next part. At this point, you can choose to continue to instant lock the rest of her hair. At that part, it will actually hurt if you do it that close to the scalp. Or you can choose to just palm roll the rest of the leftover hair and, make sure you dry it, and it will lock that way. Now, I personally suggest instant locking up closer to the root until it gets to the point where it gets uncomfortable for the client, because letting all of that hair there lock up on its own, it'll be a lot of puffiness and frizziness, and it won't hold that well. So that is why people get charged a lot for having long hair, because you got to instant lock all of that hair. So we're going to move on to the crochet method number 2. And this method, I don't think a lot of y'all have seen before, because honestly, I kind of thought of doing it this way when I started making my own extensions. And that is interlocking the extensions into the hair. So I'm going to go ahead and take a part section that I think is a good size. Of course, trying to compare it to the ends of the hair of the actual extension. I'm going to comb out the beginning part of that extension, just like the more hair that you have on the ends is better. And I'm going to go ahead and weave the extension into my interlocking tool, just like that. And I'm testing to see if I can actually interlock in between the extensions. It's kind of tight. And so if it's really tight, you don't want to interlock into the actual extension itself, or you're going to create knots. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and put the ends of the extension close to the ends of her hair. And that is where I'm going to interlock the hair at. That is the connection point right there. And interlocking is pretty simple in my opinion. You literally just weave the extension hair and her hair in together. You just put the needle through this her hair and the extension hair. I don't know how else to explain it. So hopefully the visual can help you all see. But that is all I'm doing. This is interlocking. In just a few passes, the hair is already connected. It's very secure, very strong. At this point, the rest of the hair can be palm rolled, or you can interlock a little bit more and then palm roll, but just want to show you all you can palm roll at that point. But I'm going to go ahead and interlock the hair all the way up to her roots. When I get closer to her root, that is when I start the 4-point rotation. This video is not about rotation, so I'm not going to get into it, but that is what you're going to see me doing. And I'm actually going to speed up the rest of this little tiny bit. And there you have it. If I were to install extensions like these, I would definitely do the interlocking method because it's easier on your hands. And in my opinion, it's quicker. I don't know though. I'm just biased to be honest. But I just continue to interlock any squishy part because just like the other extensions, you want it to be tight. But there she is. Now we're going to go ahead and get into the twist lock methods. This is something that is growing in popularity. And when doing this method, you want to use the smallest amount of extension hair as you can. So this method is one that is probably what a lot of people do. And that is braiding the extension hair into the human hair and then twisting down. As you can see, I created my 3 legs, one being the extension hair and the other 2 being her human hair. And I braid down and then I split a section into 2 and then I twist it down. Very simple 2-strand twist method. At this point, when you're done with the twist, you can palm roll it, or you can interlock that root to make it tight. The second way that you can actually install twist is by twisting in at the root and twisting down the hair. So basically, this is the invisible root method that is very popular when installing Senegalese twists. And you just pretty much do this with human hair and, of course, with the smallest amount of hair that you can do. Here I wanted to show you the likelihood that the hair would slip. So as you can see, I'm literally pulling the knot down the hair with that braiding method. And yeah, that's definitely going to slip a lot when you wash your hair and stuff like that. And with the twist in twist method, it don't slip as much, but over time I do think that it could slip just a little bit. And so now I'm going to show you the third method. And that is when you braid your hair in and then you crochet the extension hair at your roots and twist down. This is what I use in my non-slipping video, and this is what I do with all my clients because this prevents slippage the most. So here I'm just showing you, I did about 2 inches of braids, and that is super important. And that is pretty much the amount of hair that you need for an install with me. It's about a good 2 to 3 inches so that I can do a few passes of braiding. And so I'm just going to crochet the smallest amount because you want the knot at the top to be super tiny. I'm going to braid it in. I'm going to use the human hair, her hair as the third leg, and then the extension hair as 2 legs. And then I'm going to split the doll's head and twist down. So in my opinion, they all look the same, but the longevity is what makes the difference in your install method. Now I'm going to show you all how to install braid lock extensions, and the methods are pretty much the same as the twist locks. You can either start off by braiding in the extension hair into the human hair and just continue to braid down, or you can follow my braid down the hair, crochet the root, and then braid down the rest of the hair method. And of course, the second method is what I prefer to prevent future slippage. But you all let me know what you think. Because I'm braiding all the way down, not twisting, I'm actually going to split that thicker part into 3 sections, 2 for the extension hair and 1 on its own so that I can continue braiding down. I want to get into another popular way to install extensions. It became popular with Damian Walters. Excuse the lighting, but this is the wrap lock extensions. I started off with a braid already. I don't know where that footage went, but now I'm going to crochet the human hair into the roots. And this is where the wrapping is going to begin, straight from the roots. When wrapping the hair around, you want it to be tight and you don't want to have any spaces in between the wrapping. And that will help the actual hair mature in a very nice way. I will say I was doing this method a lot when I first started doing lock extensions, but it is now my least favorite way to install lock extensions. One, I feel like it looks the least realistic. Two, it just kind of looks, it's kind of pretty much human hair faux locks. Three is very stiff. As you can see, I let that hair go and it's sticking straight up. So it's very stiff. And four, I just feel like it just doesn't blend the best compared to the other methods. But I'm still gonna show y'all. It's still cute. It's just not my favorite for permanent lock extensions. To create the length, you're just going to continue to add more pieces of hair and wrapping around the added hair. And now these last two methods are near and dear to my heart. They are my favorite. I will say disclaimer though, these are only best for micro locks. When you try to go too big, it gets a little too difficult to pass the hair through itself and it will knot up a lot. But if you're looking for a small size, smaller than pencil, this is a great method. This first method, I'm creating the interlock extension before I install. And so I do have an in-depth video on how to do this, and also I sell these extensions. And so I'm going to speed through this because I don't want to repeat too much. But once I make the actual extension, here is where you attach it to the hair by interlocking it in. Very similar to interlocking the crochet lock extensions. Again, at this point, you can choose to just palm roll the hair, or you can interlock the hair to the root to create the tightness at the root. Now this very last method, it is very tricky, but we're going to actually create the interlock extension on the hair. So instead of pre-making the extension, you're going to actually create it while the client is there on their actual head. I'm starting off with a braided root, just like the other methods. I'm going to crochet the human hair into the base of the hair. Here I like to braid all of the hair together very loosely and very lightly, but I like the majority of the length to be on one side so that when we create the length of the extension, it'll be a little bit easier to do so. And also it limits the bulkiness at the root of her hair. And then I'm going to interlock all of the hair. So from the extension all the way up to the human hair. So you're basically creating an extension on their head. Here's where things get tricky. Because the length is so much thinner than the rest of the hair, you have to add in more bulk hair. And so what I'm going to do is just combine all of the hair and rewrap it into my interlocking needle. And that's when I'm going to begin the interlocking part of this install. So it's very tricky. I do this mainly for customers who want really, really short extensions, or their hair is too fine and thin for my interlocking extensions, and so I have to create like a custom one for them. So definitely not beginner friendly. Just like before, I'm going to go ahead and interlock all the way up to the root, and we are done. Just to recap, we went over interlocking while building the extension on the hair, interlocking while putting the extensions already made on her hair. We did the braid lock method with just braiding in the hair. We did the braid lock method with crocheting at the root and then braiding down. We did the twist lock method by braiding in the hair and twisting down. We did the twist in method where you twist at the root, the individual root method, and you twist down. We did the braid your hair down, then crochet the extension hair at the root and twist down. We did the wrap lock extension. We did the regular method of crocheting in at the hair. And lastly, we did the adding the crochet method while interlocking the extension into the hair. So that's it. All right, you all, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you're interested in learning from me, Lee, definitely head over to my website and schedule a one-on-one class so that you can learn these techniques, and I can be there to tell you what to do, tell you all the mistakes, and tell you everything. And that class is really, really good if you want to start a lock business, because I'm going to get into how to find clients and all that good stuff. So head over to my website and sign up for the class. And again, if you're interested in using Exyhair.com's hair, use this coupon code here so that you can save you some coins And lastly, before I go, I want to shout out a subscriber. She is part of Loc Crew. She sent me these super cute earrings. Her name is Ebony Dawson. And y'all, isn't this adorable? She hand painted all of these little details on these earrings. So definitely show her some love and also convince her to start this as a business, because y'all, it is super popping, especially on in person, but on camera it looks amazing. So again, thank you so much, Ebony, for sending me these. And yeah, so definitely comment down below which method is your favorite, and I will see you all in the next video.